Sup my dudes, Valk here, and today I'm going to be talking about why I love this game. Now, why am I going to be talking about that? I want to kind of take this chance to remind the community exactly why we play this game, why we're so freaking addicted to it, and why we play it so much. And I want to take this chance to just, like I said, remind everyone why we love this game. The main reason I'm doing this is because I've seen recently a lot of negativity coming out about the game in general, and I know I'm definitely not one to comment too much on the negativity because I do complain a lot, but it comes from a good spot. It comes from a good place, and I try to offer constructive feedback to it. So I kind of want to just take a little opportunity and remind everyone why we love this game. So let's go ahead, let's get into it. So now for my first point of why I love this game, I feel like there's no better point to show it off really than the literal moment I fell head over heels for this game. And I knew this was the game to quite literally bet my entire channel on, and that's the scenery in this game. The scenery in this game's absolutely gorgeous. The second I came around these mountains and I saw this for the very first time, well, not that, but this. But whenever I saw this for the very first time, it blew me away. It definitely didn't deload and reload like that, but I saw this for the very first time whenever I was playing the game, you know, following the Catherine. I remember it so clearly. I was following the Catherine quest over here, and I looked down, and I just said, holy crap. Just looked around, and I was like, no way I go there. Because Genshin is deceptively beautiful. It offers these really amazing scenic outlooks out into the massive world of the game while also presenting a very simplistic little 3D anime art style. So whenever you're walking around like Dragonspine, Layaway Mondstadt, you'll notice all the beautiful detail that they painstakingly crafted into the world. While even though the game has become bland because of a lack of content, a lot of people really do take for granted the very first time they were going through all of this and seeing how beautiful this game is as a whole and how basically how beautiful content is to look forward to. Like I said, I'm not here to excuse the downfalls of the game that you guys know I complain about many times. I'm here to try to give you guys reasons as to why I love this game. And there's certain sceneries that whenever I saw for the very first time, like this, I just absolutely fell in love, dude. This game's just freaking gorgeous. It's beautiful what it does with its simplistic style. So now we get into the second thing that made me fall in love with this game. The music. The music everywhere you go is absolutely gorgeous. Anytime you're playing around the game, you're walking around, it's amazing. It's going to be some of the music that whenever I hear in 10, 20 years, I'm going to get a wave of nostalgia. Similar to hearing like Terminal Field or Clocktown or Song of Storms. Anything like that, it's going to really hit me with a wave of nostalgia, and I know it because it's so iconic and beautiful. And there's just no way that they could ever, in my opinion, top it. And then whenever you're having these boss fights accompanied by beautiful orchestrated music, or a beautiful orchestra, really, it just makes these boss fights feel that much more epic and awesome, and makes me appreciate them that much more. I can't think of, like, in recent memory, a game with as much music that's purely as fitting as the music in Genshin. It's absolutely phenomenal what they did with what was supposed to be just another gacha game. And it ended up in creating something absolutely special and spectacular in the process that I'm honestly just happy to be a part of. And I'm glad that my voice carries even the tiniest bit of weight in the community. Then we're going to go ahead and get into another aspect that I really love about Genshin as a whole, and that is the characters in the game. The characters themselves have these beautiful backstories, and they're connected to the lore, and the world building that this game does is absolutely phenomenal. Most games you get nowadays, especially AAA games, are such lazy writing that walking into Genshin's story, as brief as it was going through it, it was like a breath of absolute fresh air. And the fact that all these characters, every last one has a ton, if you love the character, there's so much flavor text to go through between the character and all these extra voice lines that they absolutely did not need to record. There was no need to record all this. All this is just flavor. So everything that you see for each and every gacha character in the game is all just flavor text for you to be more involved with the character, for you to appreciate him more. None of this was necessary. They could have dropped all these characters without all this extra stuff. They didn't. The characters don't even need to say like voice lines to interact with you as you play the game. They could have just done the actions and people would have been just happy and none the wiser. But the fact they added all this extra stuff just to make you love the characters that much more shows how much care has gone into each character that gets produced by MiHoYo. And exactly one of the things that I love about this game so much, because it's so obvious that they care and they love the characters just as much as I do, and I'm not just another source of income for them. So the next part that I really love about this game is the lore. As you can see behind me up in the sky is the land of the gods known as Celestia. And all the lore that whenever you first get into the game you don't even know, you're just wandering around, that they kind of they like dip their little toesies into but never really expand on yet, is absolutely astounding. This game's lore is written so well and goes so deep, and we are only scratching the surface of it so far. Eventually, everything that we've seen so far with the game, we're going to be able to go through the little archive here, and we're going to have so much to go through. It's all going to come together and culminate and make sense through the travel log. Everything, as far as we're getting to, is just absolutely astounding and amazing. And I personally am really glad to be along for the ride. It's like consuming an anime or manga, right? You get so into it, you get so enthralled with what you're doing. You get really into the story to the point where you just want more. You want more, you want more. So yeah, of course I'm really pushy. We've been like, what now? I don't know when I'm going to push this video out, but it's been like 6 weeks without any meaningful like story content to really sink your teeth into, and I love the story of this game. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's not even like just a traveler meeting up with the traveler looking for their brother, in my case, or it could be sister, the traveling looking for their sibling. It's more beyond that. It's how invested they get you with each character, how each character is tied to another through lore. Xiao, Ganyu, Zhongli all tied together. Child tied to Zhongli, child to Sichnaya. Venti with the this was like a really emotional quest. If you guys have done this one, the Venti lore, on how he gave I can't remember the dude's name, but how he gave him peace because he lost his friend in the marriage of Ari. Stanley, how he gave Stanley peace because he lost his friend in the marriage of Ari, and how he became how he was an actual god, and how he lost somebody very important to him, and now Venti's way of remembering them. There's just so much lore to this game, and the fact that you can know it and repeat it off the top of your head shows how much it stuck with you. Shows how amazingly written it was, and how much it stuck with you, and how much you like it, whether you know it or not. Alright, next is the combat system. I'm sure I don't need to tell all of you how the combat system works with elemental reactions, etc. Because if you found my channel, you're probably a diehard of Genshin already, because I'm one of the smaller people. But as far as combat goes, Genshin's combat's really fluid, snappy, interactive, and I love it. It's really fun to play, and at the same time, it's really rewarding once you get good at it. It's not super difficult, while there are difficult things to master, and you can definitely improve over time with Genshin very quickly. It's just a matter of getting down the game mechanics, and there's all sorts of systems to reward you for getting better at it beyond, more damage, easier clears. There's adventure ranks, there's all sorts of things to reward progression, although the progression in this game could definitely use some improvement. Overall, the combat itself, I absolutely adore and I love it. And I'm sure all of you love it too, because it's one of the main reasons we're addicted to playing this game, because the combat just feels so damn good. But yeah, the combat, there's not really too much to say about it, but the combat itself just feels amazing. And now for my final part of this video. I'm going to be taking a little scenic walk. While this is probably going to be more of a controversial take, a lot of you might not agree with me on this, especially with what I say. You might be like, do you even believe this? But this is my honest thoughts. And it's so important to me, everything I'm about to say, that I have literally 3 bullet points. Because I don't really write scripts, I just put down bullet points and like, okay, I want to go over this, this, and this. And I have 3 bullet points to really drive this point home. MiHoYo is a good company. They are full of good people. In the end, they are out to make money, of course, in whichever ways they seem like they need to. But they are full of good people and good developers that actually care, and it's super obvious whenever you look into the painstaking like detail that went into this world. Of course, I can point out little funny things like Mondstadt's railings or Leeway's gap between the staircases, but in the end, whenever you explore the world as a whole, you can appreciate it for what it is, especially whenever you take into account the actual scale of what they're trying to do. I don't know if you guys have like realized it. I don't know if you guys have really put into thought exactly the scale of what they're trying to do, but this is the map we have so far, and we've already established how, in the scenery section of this video, how much detail they put into every last inch of this game. Do you know that all this black area, everything that's covered in the black, the darkness, the space stuff, this is all going to be playable area? Every last bit of it? Everything. It's just they're going to slowly fill in the map. They're going to add more and more. And do you realize exactly how much black area there is compared to what we have right now? Like, do you guys realize this? Because the scale of what they're trying to do has never been done. It's literally never been done. So, there are definitely going to be bumps and bruises along the way. But they are doing really well, and there's a lot of care going into the world with given the amount of scale it is. And I really hope they continue this cycle. It's just the fact that it takes so long to produce content this good, and it's not something I'm used to as a gamer. I'm having to wait this long for pretty much any meaningful content. So it's definitely one of the biggest complaints to everybody, but patience rewards all. So all I gotta say is be patient about that, dude. Then another point I really like about MiHoYo as a company is they're willing to take risks. What I mean by that is they're willing to kind of do anything. They put Fall Guys in Genshin. They put in this harp that's going to be a permanent feature after. They put in all these dating sims. I mean, you get to go hang out with Noelle, Barbara Bennett, so you get more character lore. They're doing these things I've never seen in an RPG game. They have Osu, they have Pop the Balloons, there's all sorts of mini games, and then with Lantern Rite, there was more mini games. They saw the community did not like the way that the quests were handled, so they made the quest even better this time around. I don't know if you noticed, but it's not so much as just, hey, go do this for me. There's actual cutscenes to it, there's reason to pay attention. All in all, they take a lot of risks as companies. Sometimes it blows up in their faces, and sometimes it's a rousing success. It's all a matter of who the player is that's playing them, but I really appreciate a company that's not settling for complacency, not saying our players just only like this and only want this, but instead are willing to take risks on new and inventive content that in the end could spring a new golden goose egg. But of course, whenever you're experimenting, you're going to have failures. And the fact that they're not letting their failures deter them, they're just pressing on and keep trying new things, is absolutely astounding to me. And then to double on that fact, because like I said, 3 bullet points is the same thing basically, they listen to the community. They take these risks, they put out these experimental things, and then they listen to the community. Now granted, a lot of you are going to be like, why don't they listen to us about 2FA? I don't know. I don't know the inner workings of it. I don't understand how MiHoYo works as a whole. But they listen to the community overall. They have done feedback, like Zhongli boss. They didn't need to do that. They didn't need to buff Zhongli, but they did. Whenever it comes to the feedback from the Lantern Rite quest, how nobody liked the fetch quest. There's no fetch quest here yet. And then they have survey for feedback after every update. They want to know, hey, Xiao mains, how you enjoying Xiao? By the way, fix this bug, please. How you enjoying Xiao? Or like Ganyu mains, how you enjoying Ganyu? Or Hu Tao mains, how you enjoying Hu Tao? Did you get the staff at home? Did it perform to your expectations? Did you play the new content? How did the new content make you feel? Did you enjoy it? They don't need to do this. They don't need to do any of this. They could just pump out their content, say, hey, you like it, you like it, you don't, you don't. Your money's ours now anyways, we don't care. So the fact that they're willing to at least like give some sort of semblance as a listening to community and act upon what the community's feedback is astounding to me. There's not many companies as a whole that do it at all. I mean, if you guys want to see terrible PR, just go look at like literally any game EA has put out, and yeah, you'll see what most people are used to as far as PR goes. But every now and then there comes around a company that cares about their product, cares about everything, and then the fact that they listen to on top of it is amazing to me. So yeah, hopefully if you guys watch this whole video, I know it's going to be long, because I love this game. If you watch this whole video, then thank you. I know this is a break from me normally ripping MiHoYo a new one, but I wanted to show why and how much I love this game. I really do. And I wanted to show that by making a video showing everything that I love about it, just ranting about my thoughts and going about it. But yeah, this is basically why I love the game and everything, and hopefully it makes it why I criticize the game so much more apparent, because if you want something to improve, this applies to yourself too. You have to criticize it. I criticize myself constantly. I say, what can I do better here? What can I do better here? As well as I get feedback from other people. So, because I constantly want myself to improve as a human being, right? So, whenever I really, really love something, I criticize it. So hopefully this sheds a little bit more light into why I'm so critical of this game, and shows exactly how much I do love this and how much I do want it to succeed, even further than what it already has. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you today. Thank you all for watching as always. I know this is a long one. Catch you all later. Peace.